Hello, I'm Chris474, and I'm back with another episode of Play Novel Silent Hill for the Game Boy Advance. Um, I forgot where we were at already. We met Lisa again. She told us about an underground tunnel to the lake, so we're heading that way. And we killed a evil giant moth. So let's go ahead and get right back into it. After passing through the sewers connected to the water supply installation near the elementary school, I came up in the most popular part of Silent Hill, the lakeside tourist spot. However, in spite of this, there is no reason to expect anyone to be here. The area is wrapped in darkness, and in a condition in which it would be impossible to even walk around without a flashlight. First, I decide to enter Annie's bar, which lies on the road to the lake. Annie's bar. Which lies on the road to the lake. As I approach the door, I notice what sounds like a struggle coming from the other side. When I open the door, inside Kaufman is there. Dr. Michael Kaufman, that is certainly what he said his name was. A monster has him cornered. His back is against the far wall of the bar, and he is out of breath. He did not notice me coming to the bar and looked as if he had lost all hope. I pointed my gun at the monster and fired, even after the monster had died. With a cry like a metallic twisting, Kaufman just stared into the air, looking completely worn out. Are you okay? As I spoke to him, he weakly stood up, brushed his pants twice, and then slowly looked at me, towards me. Yeah, I guess so, but I'm beat. I thought I was a goner there. So how'd it go? Did you find a way out? No, not yet. How about you? Zip, but it's too soon to give up. This craziness can't go on forever. A military rescue squad should be here any time now. If they come through the town, we're home free. He looked at the darkness outside the window and clenched his fists. I hope so, I say. I better get going. This isn't the time to stand around flapping out gums. He fixed his collar and then began to walk to the door. He walked as if he were incredibly hungry, and when he reached the door, I asked him the question that had been on mine for quite some time. Kaufman, option. Drop my pen. Option 30. We'll show him the picture of Alessa. Do you know this girl? His hand, which he had placed on the doorknob, paused for a moment, and then he looked back at me. I hold the picture of Alessa in my hand. Upon seeing it, a look of horror appears on Kaufman's face, and he freezes. You, just who in the hell are you? I was unable to understand the meaning of his question. In the next instant, Kaufman turned and then left the room as if he were sucked through the door. Dr. Michael Kaufman, he definitely has some secret. Well, I'm not sure whether it is connected to me rescuing Cheryl or not. He knows the main reason why this town has undergone a transformation. I followed him so that he did not notice me. He races through the dark alleys. Perhaps it is because he is familiar with the geography here. The sound of the harsh wind blowing down from the mountains as it cuts through the eaves of the buildings hides my footsteps and my presence. I continue to carefully tail him, making sure not to lose sight of him. Finally, a small figure opened the door of a certain building, and he disappeared inside. He went into a motel, but not into one of the guest rooms. The door he went through is one that is off limits to outsiders and only for use by employees. I press down on my heart, which feels like it is going to explode. With my left hand, open the door that Kaufman just used and hid inside. Inside, ancient dust is everywhere, and the room reeks of mildew. It looks to be a garage. Oil, a sprayer, tires, and such have been placed on a dirty metal shelf. Odd. Kaufman is nowhere to be found. There is only one other door in the room, and it is slightly open. He must have went through there into another room. However, I did not go after him right away. Instead, my attention turned to the motorcycle near the wall, and I stopped. The gas tank of the motorcycle differs from the rest of the motorcycle, as it is oddly clean and shiny. The motorcycle is so covered in dust that it is not possible to even distinguish what color it is, but I get the feeling that the gas tank area alone has been fiddled with by someone. I tried gently opening the gas tank. Inside the gas tank there is a black vinyl bag that is protecting a small glass bottle. At the moment I was about to reach out to it, a familiar voice stopped me. Give me that. When I turned, Kaufman was just glaring at me, his face white with anger. His clenched fists are shaking with rage. What is this? That's none of your business. Instead of messing with that, how about coming up with a way to get out of here? Humph. You shouldn't be hanging around here goofing off. What do you think you're doing? You want to get yourself killed? Get out of here. Even if he had not said that, I understood. I didn't know just how important this small bottle was to him, but I didn't think that it would help me to find Oh, even if he had not said that, I understood. I didn't know just how important this small bottle was to him, but I didn't think that it would help me to find Cheryl, so I gave it to him. Okay, take it easy. Unless you want to die, keep your mind on business, got it? Saying that Kaufman acts calm and leaves the garage, I think that guy's got to be involved with a local drug racket. Man, was he pissed, and in such a rush, too. There was probably dope in the bottle. Anyway, better let him do as he pleases. There's more than my life at stake. I then realize that I'm wasting time and immediately leave the hotel. I check the map and then head to the greatest part of this sightseeing area, the lakeside. My visible breath brushes by my cheeks, drifting in the air as to mark my trail, and then finally becoming one with the air around it. And then the area gradually began turning into that nightmarish world. I abruptly came to stop. This time the change is not instant like before. This town, this world seems like it is being dumped into a demon's body, and I am filled with a feeling that there is no going back. Something has changed in a way that cannot be undone. There's a road before me, so I run along on it. That is all I can do. Is there any hope? Is Cheryl alive? Is in this situation of which I cannot be sure of anything. I frequently have to fight off the urge to get sick. However, I believe that I will find something if I continue forward on this road. I run across a pier, and without thinking about it, I wrench the door of a small boat stopped midway along the pier open, and then rush inside it. Okay. There was already a passenger inside the boat. Sybil! Harry! Our voices revealed that we were both relieved. How did you get back here? I followed the sewer. Were you the one who cut the fence? Yeah. I'm glad you made it. I was worried about you. You were worried? Where did you disappear to? Never mind. I want to know what's going on here. What is with this town? I condensed all the things that had happened to me into one somewhat unclear conclusion. I look at Sybil and begin to speak. This may sound really off the wall, but listen to me. You've got to believe me. I haven't gone crazy and I'm not fooling around. At first I thought I was losing my mind, but now I know I'm not. It's not me, this whole town. It's being invaded by the other world. By a world of someone's nightmarish delusions come to life. Little by little, the invasion is spreading, trying to swallow up everything in darkness. I think I'm finally beginning to understand what that lady was talking about. Harry, hold on a minute. I don't get it. Look, I don't understand it all myself. I guess I can't explain it. I honestly revealed how I felt. Well, what's making this happen? I don't know that either, but I do know Cheryl was there. There? Understand whoever created this darkness, Cheryl is somewhere, and she needs my help. Once I finished explaining everything, Sybil faintly smiled and looked at me as if she was worried. Harry, this whole thing's been a major blow to you. You need to rest. I was let down. This world, its state, and the reason it became like this. Understood. And I wanted Sybil to understand as well. Even though I am a writer, I am cursed by a limited vocabulary. This is something that upsets me about myself. Sybil, as I was speaking, the door slowly opened and I could see someone enter the room. It was not a monster, but a human. The demon is awakening, spreading those wings. Dahlia Gillespie? Was it not as I said? I see it all, yes, now. See it all now, yes, everything. Hungry for sacrifice, the demon will swallow up the land. I knew this day would come, and what's more, the task is almost finished. There's only two left. To seal this town to the abyss, the mark of Samael. When it is completed, all is lost. Even in daytime, darkness will cover the sun. The dead will walk and martyrs will burn in the fires of hell. Everyone will die. So what am I supposed to do? I've got to not shave, save. I've got to save Cheryl. It is simple. Stop the demon. The demon taking that child's form. Stop it before your daughter becomes a sacrifice. Before it is too late. Stop it. Stop it. What do? Go to the lighthouse on the lake and to the center of the amusement park. Make haste. You are the only hope. Help me, Harry Mason. You're my only hope. Look, Harry, I really don't get what's going on, but if there's a chance we can save your daughter, I'm in. I'll check out the amusement park. You go to the lighthouse. Sybil. 31. I'll go to the lighthouse. Sybil, thanks. Gripping her handgun, Sybil left the boat and disappeared in the darkness. You will need to use it. Use what? The Floros. Only with that can you stop it. Wait, the Floros? I checked inside my pockets. That four-sided object. However, does Sybil have such an object as well? No, that is not likely. If she did, then she probably would have been able to understand my story a little better. What about Sybil? I consider chasing after Sybil. However, my true goal is rescuing my daughter. And Sybil, with the same goal, is risking her life as she heads to the amusement park. I think I should believe in Sybil. No, maybe it is merely my selfishness telling myself that. However, my destination is the lighthouse. That is not far from here. To run there is my mission and my fate. I entered the lighthouse and then ascended a spiral staircase to arrive at the roof. And then I could not believe my eyes. A giant crest is present on the floor I am standing on, the roof of the lighthouse. The mark of Samael, that is what Dahlia called it. She said I must not let it be completed, that this town is gradually being eroded away by this crest. Alyssa was standing there. She looked as if she had just now completed making the mark here, and she just looked at me without any change in her expression. For the first time, we just faced each other. Each of us understood each other to a certain degree. Just as I thought that her eyes showed a little sadness, she turned around and suddenly disappeared, as if she had jumped from this tall lighthouse. Alyssa, wait! Option 32. Um, let's go with B. Wait, please talk to me. I rushed to the area where Alyssa was standing. However, there was no trace of her at all. The cold wind blew and ruffled my bangs. I just stood there motionless. I can see something. Through the overlapping layers of fog, I see something that looks like a pale light. Alyssa, I said without thinking about it. I had a feeling that I could see Alyssa through a distortion in the space there. Alyssa. Ooh boy. These. Let's go with A. YOLO! I was walking on air. With each step I took towards the distortion, I was stepping on air. Finally, my body is completely enveloped in that hole. Inside, Alyssa was sitting on the ground, sobbing. Alyssa covered her face with her hands, and her shoulders trembled as she cried. I nestled up to her and knelt down. Suddenly, the area became a sea of fire. Among the heaps of debris, Alyssa is screaming. This is what is in Alyssa's mind. Alyssa's suffering mind. The detestable event of 7 years ago. The flames that burned an entire section of the town. It was being replayed before my eyes. Alyssa. I shook her shoulders in an attempt to wake her from this nightmare. Alyssa raised her head, and when I looked at her, my heart nearly stopped. Cheryl. It is unmistakable. This girl is Cheryl, whom I have been searching for. Cold rain moistens my cheeks. When I come to, I realize that I am standing frozen on top of the lighthouse, staring off into the empty darkness. A dream. Was I hallucinating? Oh, and what about Cheryl? In order to return to the boat from just before, I retraced my steps from the lighthouse. The small boat stopped midway along the pier. Perhaps Sybil has returned, and with that expectation in mind, I opened the door leading to the inside of the boat. But Sybil is not here. Maybe she is still on her way to the amusement park, or maybe she has already arrived there, or maybe something has happened to her. Within a current of guessing that raced by like a revolving lantern, I ran towards the amusement park. I arrived at the amusement park by going through the sewers. In the amusement park, which has changed to the form of the other world, several of the attractions run constantly as if they were broken toys. I pass by the Ferris wheel and arrive at the merry-go-round, but this is the only attraction that is not running. While it is only natural for a ride to not be in operation, it seems unnatural for this merry-go-round to not be running. I walk around it. Clink, clink. While slipping between the horses, I look for Sybil. Quite a bit of time has passed since she came here. I suppose maybe she didn't find Cheryl and headed back to that ship, but the only way to get here is through the sewers. If she had gone back then, we should have ran across each other at some point. What is this? I slowly kneel down and try touching it. The dark green liquid is still warm. Something moved through here, and if this trail is traced, it will lead back to the source of the liquid. And then, in the darkness, I see Sybil from behind. Sybil? I try calling out to her. Only the low sound of the motor of the Ferris wheel echoes from afar. She should be able to hear me. I take another look at her. Odd, I do not see the brave attitude that was present in her just before. She walks as if something had drained the life out of her, like she is wandering about for no reason. I approach her and call out to her once more. As I do this, Sybil staggers as she slowly turns and confirms my presence. And then, as if I am watching her in slow motion, she raises her right arm until it is parallel with the ground, and then a bullet fires from the handgun she is holding. Sybil, it's me, it's Harry. The bullet grazes my shoulder, and with a discordant metallic sound, it hits one of the wooden horses. She is coming towards me. Her eyes no longer appear to be human. The eerie red color of her eyes does not make it look like her life force has been drained, but instead it makes it appear as if she has been possessed by some evil being. I was too late, I think. Her heart has been devoured by someone. No, by Alyssa. What is there is no longer Sybil, just an alter ego of Alyssa that is using Sybil's body. I readied my handgun and fired at Sybil. I have no choice. If I do not fire, then I will be killed. If I die, then I won't be able to save Cheryl or anything. Sybil, she should be my most dependable partner. The first person I met in town and a supporter. An irreplaceable friend that risked her life to help me search for Cheryl. And now I'm going to kill her in the name of rescuing my daughter. However, I have no choice. I will be killed if I do nothing. I pull the trigger. Each time I hit Sybil, I feel like I am going to pass out. And as Sybil collapses, I become aware of my error. You could have shot her in the hand. Shot the gun out of her hand. Sybil has become just an object. I rush over to Sybil and look at her. She lands on her back with her eyes wide open. I sink to the ground. Tears distort my vision. Sybil, why did this happen? At this moment, I am just about to touch Sybil. Her back suddenly rises and begins squirming. A nasty liquid-like monster bursts out of Cheryl's lifeless back. It crawls on the floor and begins to move at speed not unthinkable for its shape. Keeping only it in my sight, I pursue it. I am already exhausted and maybe in no condition to correctly judge things. And then, just as I had predicted, she appeared. Alyssa, the girl that wrapped up this town and its residents in her other world. That girl carefully formed her body from out of light and appeared right in front of me. I began to talk to that demon. I figured you'd show. Hold it right there. I don't know who you are, what you're trying to do, and I don't care. Just one thing. Let Cheryl go. That's all I ask. Before I finish speaking, Alyssa raises her right hand toward the sky. And then she brings her arm down and my entire body is blown backwards. My body tumbles across the ground like a rag for about 30 meters, and then finally comes to a rest. Such incredible power, a servant of God, a demon's power. A normal person like me has no chance against her. Power is gushing out of her body, and it emits a pale light. I cannot even approach her. Huh? What is this? Suddenly a blinding light emits from my pocket. It is the four-sided object, the Floros. Light shoots out in a straight line from each of the points of its triangles, and it eventually rises up into the air. Just as I thought that the great light and sound it was wrapped in meant that its power was greater than Alessa's, the power of the Floros condensed, became a beam of light and pierced Alessa's body. Just as I was just before, Alessa was blown backwards by that power, which she could not overcome. Where's Cheryl? Give me back my daughter. I was on the verge of passing out, and I thought of Cheryl. All I can do is calmly look at the unbelievable sight before me as it unfolds before my eyes. What just happened? Is Cheryl okay? However, she does not answer me. Instead, a hoarse voice passes into my thoughts, and it is accompanied by the sound of footsteps. We meet at last, Alessa. Dally? Gillespie? Unable to move from my prone position, I thought about whose voice that was, and then using all my strength I stand. After confirming that it was Dahlia in front of me, I spoke in a voice that was nearly a yell. Where's Cheryl? Where is she? Dahlia does not hear me yelling. She does not look back and looks at Alessa with a creepy smile. Alessa, this is the end of your little game. Mama? Mother? I am confused, huh? Could she be... You've been a ghastly little pest, haven't you, Alessa? I was careless, thinking you couldn't escape from our spell. But Mommy didn't know how much you'd grown. That's why I couldn't catch you all by myself. But what a pity, yes? Now that you're half indebted to this man for his help. Hey, what are you talking about? My voice just echoes emptily in the darkness. Alyssa, my dear little girl, there is one thing left I need you to do for me. No, get away from me. Bad girl. Everything is ready. Let's go home now. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Wait, what about Cheryl? Just where is she? Give me back my daughter. My daughter. Cheryl. Lisa, what happened? Where's Alyssa and Dahlia? Harry, listen, something you said before has been bothering me. I just can't get it out of my head. What is it, Lisa? So I went to look in the basement, even though I was scared as hell. Like you said, there were these creepy rooms, but nothing really unusual down there. But while I was down there, I get this weird feeling, like I'd been there before. Like something happened there, but I just can't quite remember somehow. What was it, Harry? Help me. I'm so scared. I can't take this. It's only a temporary thing. You're in shock from when you are knocked out. Don't fret about it. You'll remember after a while. No, you don't understand. Wait, where do you think you're going? Harry? Lisa, what's the matter with you? I get it now, why I'm still alive even though everyone else is dead. I'm not the only one who's still walking around. I'm the same as them. I just hadn't noticed it before. Lisa? Save me, Harry, please. I'm so scared. Help me. Save me from them. Please, Harry. Lisa. I don't know. Should I go? Oh, what's this? Option 34. Don't know what to choose. Um, I'll go with B. Don't worry, I will do what I can. A quiet smile appeared on Lisa's face. I softly hold her delicate body. Oh my. I'm happy. Lisa's body quivered. However, maybe that is just because she is relieved. She looks at me with empty eyes, eyes that have lost their life. Then her lips begin to tremble and a look of astonishment appears on her face. Lisa's condition becomes abnormal. She then extends her hand out towards me. Help me. She doesn't say it, but I know that is what she is saying from the movement of her lips. While she stares into the air, Lisa's body appears to drift and wiggle as she edges towards me one step at a time. She falls to her knees. She falls on her hands. With her eyes fixed, with me fixed in her sight, Lisa is falling headlong down the staircase to death. And then Lisa stopped moving. With Lisa now no more than a doll in front of me, I once again notice that I am inside the hospital, a place which is wrapped in an evil atmosphere that I have never seen the likes of. I asked the doctor to let me quit being in charge of that patient. It's too weird. The room is filled with insects. Even with doors and windows shut, they get in to spite me. To the hospital, still alive, but with wounds that won't heal. Blood and pus flow from the basement faucet. I try to stop it, but it won't turn off. Feeling bad, need to throw up. But nothing comes out. Vomiting only bile. Need drug. Told the doctor I quit. Won't work at the hospital anymore. Someone help me. The pocket radio continues to make noise. The raging of the unknown things around me rocks my eardrums. Those monsters, which always approach shortly after I use my flashlight. It was all I could do to intimidate them with the gun while running away. After running for a bit, I realized that I am no longer in the original hospital. I have no way of knowing where here is. Bridging the gap of my faint consciousness, I move from place to place. I am being moved by someone. Maybe that is the best way to think about it. Or maybe I am just painfully wandering around inside my own nightmare. I cannot tell that at all. I can only trust my senses and rely on my own judgment. And then I raise my head. A straight corridor extends forward from where I am standing. As I slowly walk forward, one door seems to call out to me, and so I approach it. Boom! Suddenly the wall of the room creaks with a boom, and then the floor I was standing on begins to rapidly descend along with the rest of the room. I felt like I would begin floating in the air, so I used my arms to brace myself, and then I passed out. Someone is talking. It hurts. My whole body hurts. When I come to, I find that I am lying on the floor of a classroom in the elementary school. My body is spread out on the floor like the Japanese character. I can hear someone talking. I cannot make out what they are saying very well. As I lie on my back, I can see who is talking just by looking around. I cannot believe my eyes. Over there, I see Dahlia and Alessa. They look like ghosts, and I can see through their bodies. No, I don't want to. Do what Mommy tells you now. I just want you to lend me a teeny bit of your power, that's all. No, I don't want to do it. It will make everyone happy, and it's for your own good, too. Oh, but Mommy, I just want to be with you. Just two of us, please, understand. Oh, yes, I see. Maybe Mommy has been wrong. Mommy? Why didn't I see this before? There's no reason to wait. Herein lies the mother's womb, containing the power to create a life. I could have done it all myself. Mommy? Finally, they suddenly disappear. The classroom regains its stillness as if nothing had happened. I got on my knees, stood up, and looked around my surroundings. Chairs and desks were arranged in order. Using them as support, I unsteadily walked towards the exit. At the moment, I place my hand on the wooden sliding door. It opens with great force, as if it had a mind of its own. Through the large flow of air coming from beyond it, it thrust me into a dark space. I was forced down. I found that I had been thrown into a room of the hospital again. My body had rubbed on the disgustingly dirty floor. I picked myself up and suppressed the urge to vomit by brushing off my shirt several times. A video cassette recorder had been installed here, and it looks like it can be used. I insert the tape that I had picked up at some point into it, and timidly press the play button. After a moment of static, a picture appears. On the screen, Lisa appears. She is sitting alone with her elbows on a desk and her head down. I turn up the volume on the monitor and listen carefully. What is it? Still has an unusual high fever. Eyes don't open, getting a pulse, but just barely breathing. Her skin is all charred. Even when I change the bandages, the blood and pus just start oozing through. Why, what is keeping that child alive? I can't stand it any longer. I won't tell a soul, promise. So please. And then the screen goes black. The tape was ejected as if it were something dirty being spit out. It fell to the floor and broke with a crash. Magnetic tape. There is no doubt someone is eating away at my consciousness. The magnetic tape extends out of the fallen video cassette and wraps around my legs. I try to get away, but the tentacles of tape get around my neck and begin to tighten. With both hands, I try as hard as I can to tear the tape away that is twisted around my neck. But I'm halfway passing out, and so my hands do not have the strength to do so. In the light that is reaching my pupils, I can faintly detect what appears to be human figures. They are standing around a bed with Dahlia on the left, Kaufman on the right, and just a bit away from him, some people in white coats that looks like a doctor's. Each of them has troubled looks on their faces, and they peer at the face of the person lying on the bed. Everything is going according to plan, sheltered in the womb. Dahlia? But it's not done yet. Half the soul is lost. That is why the seed lies dormant. And what soul remains captured in that husk is buried deep down in the subconscious. Are you trying to say it won't work? That wasn't our agreement. No, these are just stalling tactics. If we lend a hand, we will be able to get power. Never fear, the promise shall not be broken. But the power we can draw now will be very weak, almost nothing, unless we get the other half of the soul. We'll use a magical spell. Feeling this child's pain is sure to come. But that will take time. And then the illusions fade away. I carefully observe the inside of the room. This room I have been here before, I think. The tape, which should be tightly wrapped around my neck, around my throat, is gone. And I realize that my own hands are wrapped around my throat. Something is on top of the desk that has been placed in the center of the room. This isn't the first time I have been here. When I was here before, I was certain that, unlike other rooms, I had sensed the warmth and presence of a person in this room. When I looked at the picture on the desk, my belief changed. Alessa, I tried calling out to her. She is the instigator that created this other world. However, it would be hard for anyone to forgive the experiment that was carried out on her body under the pretext of a magical spell. This is where she lived. Her hate spirals out in this cursed wing of the hospital. However, there is no way to prove the reality of it, as all I have is a vague sense of it. Reflecting in my blank eyes, the room I am standing in begins to change shape. The bed and picture frame from before are gone, and the room transforms into a completely different one. This is a child's room. Stuffed animals and art supplies are scattered all over. I noticed something. Alessa probably collected these. Butterfly specimens of many different colors are on display. Huh? I think I just saw something flash. Are we playing a guessing game now? I found a key. This key invites me. Had I not been very careful, I would have not found it. Yeah, just hold the D-pad in one direction and keep pressing A repeatedly until something happens. Had I not, as it was hidden behind one of the butterflies. There's a door in front of me. As I approach it, it seems to edge up to me. As I extend my hand to the knob, the door makes a light tapping sound and begins opening, as if inviting me into the heart of something evil. I finally arrived at the deepest level of the other world. Inside the door, it is wide and the floor is a metal grating. It is filled with an evil atmosphere. Additionally, it is accompanied by a strong power that I have not felt before. The ceiling is too high for me to see. This is a giant space, so large that I cannot tell if I am outside or not. I carefully walk into the large space, one step at a time. All the answers I seek are probably in this room. So I... I don't know. Now I'm not sure where I'm at in the chapter this is anymore. Dahlia and Alessa. It is definitely those two. I was shocked to realize the talisman of... I was shocked to realize the talisman of Metrotron... I can't even say that word. Metrotron. I want to say Metrotron, because I keep thinking Megatron. The name Megatron keeps popping in my mind. Metrotron was being used, in spite of the lost soul returning at last. Just a little longer, and all would have been for naught. It's all because of that man. We must be thankful for him. Even though Alessa has been stopped, his little girl has to go. What a pity. Dahlia still has not noticed me. I boldly walk towards Dahlia, and I scream at her. Stop this, Dahlia. Dahlia shows no compunction or surprise and turns to face me with a calm expression on her face. Well, well, well. To think you'd make it this far. Where's Cheryl? What have you done to her? What are you talking about? You've seen her many times restored to her former self. I'm in no mood for jokes. I didn't understand what she was saying. Don't you see? She's right there, right there. Only Alessa, draped in her blue clothing, is where Dahlia is pointing. That's absurd. You're the only one who thinks so. Why? Why are you doing this? It's been a long 7 years. For the 7 years since that terrible day, Alessa has been kept alive, suffering a fate worse than death. Alessa has been trapped in an endless nightmare from which she never awakens. She has been nurtured by that nightmare, waiting for the day to be born. That day has finally come. The time is nigh. Everyone will be released from pain and suffering. Our salvation is at hand. This is the day of reckoning, when all our sorrows will be washed away. When we return to the true paradise, my daughter will be the mother of God. At about the exact time I began to speak, another voice drowned mine out. Quit screwing around. Return things to how they were before. Kaufman? Dr. Michael Kaufman stood there out of breath, as if he had just arrived in time. Did I ask for this? Nobody uses me. You won't get away with this. Your role is over. We don't need you anymore. What do you think you can accomplish by coming here? A smile appears on Kaufman's face, and he reaches into his pocket. My, aren't we getting cocky? Bet you can't see this and keep your cool. The item that Kaufman pulled out of his pocket, it is definitely the small bottle that I found in the gas tank of that motorcycle that was in the garage somewhere. Aglaophotis. Aglaophotis? I thought I got rid of that. All I had to do was plant it somewhere for you to find. You all? Well, it kept you busy. Ha, you're easy. And there's more where this came from. Stop it. Kaufman throws a small bottle of Alessa. All four of us watch the bottle fly in a beautiful parabola, our eyes fixed on the sacred liquid within. There's tension, although she is normally calm and composed. That drug is enough to frighten Dahlia. That small bottle hit a part of Alessa's body, shattered into pieces and soaked Alessa uncomfortably with the red liquid that was inside. Dahlia looks completely emaciated as she watches the whole thing. However, not me, nor anyone could have predicted the situation that came out of that event. Alyssa's, black, Alyssa's, back, Alyssa's back splits open, and a giant creature the likes of which I had never seen before tears through the cloth of the one-piece dress Alyssa is wearing. It looks like an insect breaking out of its cocoon it is being born. That can't be good. It has large wings and a head like a bull, and with its green muscles swelling, it rose up and out of its mother's body, Alessa, and then it let out an earth-shakingly brutal evil cry and looked down at us. Huh? What the? I yell out, not addressing anyone in particular. What on earth? That's not supposed to... Kaufman just stands there in utter amazement as the events unfold unlike how he had expected. It's awakening. It's awake. Now no one can interfere. Dahlia, in a fit of insanity, had a feeling that could not be described as pleasant or angry. Cheryl, I call my daughter's name one more time. Give up. That person no longer exists. This is a god, descended among us to reach out and save us. I edge up to Alessa, the mother's body that has been cast off, and there I see Cheryl, about to fade away as always. Thank you, Daddy. Goodbye. I am certain that is what she said to me. Cheryl, can't be. You can't leave me like this. Cheryl's already beginning to run away from me. This can't be happening. Cheryl, Cheryl, I yell out. The figure of my daughter, who I've been searching for, gradually dissolves into the darkness, just like the figure I saw when I first arrived in Silent Hill. Cheryl, wait! Then electricity overflowed from the entire body of the creature that was born from Alessa. It divided into several lightning bolts, which struck above my head. I run about trying to escape. However, that band of electricity follows me and constantly appears in front of me. I have begun to sweat, and it is getting in my eyes. If I keep running about like this, I will be beaten. I vaguely think, even if it means that Cheryl will not come back, by killing this conceptually evil creature, the situation will clearly improve for the better. I ready my weapon. During the short time between the lightning strikes, I fire many bullets into the creature's body. During that short time from when it spreads its large wings and becomes ready to strike, I do not even think about ceasing my attack. Cheryl's smile flits through the back of my mind. What was it that she wanted when she decided to travel to Silent Hill? You were the one to suggest it, right, Cheryl? Were you called here, or did you wish to come here out of your own will? Come here of your own will. Cheryl, I love you more than anyone, and I still do even now. That's the truth. However, I must bury this creature. I must make up for the sins that Cheryl took from me. And then when the final bullet penetrated its body, it lost the means to keep its body together, and finally the pieces of its body fell apart and dissolved into the darkness. It was completely gone. Okay. The large space begins to shake heavily. A loud, horrifying noise rises up from the below, and with it my existence is thrown from dimension to dimension, and I feel pain just being there. Fire has broken out in various places in the area, and I can tell you that the space as well as the entire town are on the verge of collapsing. Alessa lies on her stomach in the center of the space, and she shows no sign of moving from there. She is just protecting her entire body in a bird-like manner. She desperately holds out the new life that is just below her abdomen towards me. I run over to Alessa. Pain expression arises on Alessa's face as she hands the newborn baby to me. Then hellfire burn with force and spread around, and my life is threatened. There is not enough time left to try and rescue Alessa from here. I hold the baby she gave me tightly to my chest and begin to run from this twisting space in search of somewhere safe. I do not look back. Why did Alessa entrust this small life born from her at the end to me? I have no idea. But I have a feeling that I am obligated to raise this child. Behind me, explosion occurs. I run. All I can do is continue to run. Without looking back, I move forward towards the ray of light that I have a faint glimpse of. No, okay, well, that's one ending. But I don't know which ending that was. Did the achievement unlock? I need to know if the achievement unlocked. Well, the achievement didn't pop, so I don't know. Achievement unlocked, escape. Wait. Okay, so I... Oh, yeah. Okay, I got... Okay, we got ending B according to the achievement. So how do we unlock? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So how do I unlock? How do I unlock Sybil's scenario? I assume that once I finish one of Harry's. Let me. Yeah, it says it unlocks. Available after completing Harry's scenario. So, oh, okay. It's in this file. Okay. What happened in a new game? Okay. Wow, we finished this. Okay, we finished one playthrough of this. One. We got one ending of Harry's scenario. I think that's good for now. And I guess in the next episode we'll start on Sybil's scenario. So we got the B ending. So all the options we picked gave us the B ending. All right. So like I said, next episode we'll start Cheryl's scenario. So thank you. Yeah, we'll just make a save state here and reload it from right there. So thank you everyone who watches this episode. Have a good day. Enjoy your spooky season, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good day. Bye.